I will talk about some of the important things about video editing for beginners. If you are someone who wants to learn video editing for YouTube videos or want to become a professional video editor, this video will set your path on the right way. There are lots of options to choose from, and it may seem confusing at first, but it is not that complex. You have to choose a device and a platform to start video editing. For some quick editing, it is okay to use mobile devices. To achieve a good quality through video editing, you have to use a laptop or a computer. It is not like you have to use a particular OS or particular software. The kind of complex action needed for good video editing is not possible through mobile devices yet. Even though the mobile software may make it possible to have fancy effects, it will be very inefficient to edit slightly longer videos. So what options do we have for laptops or computers? Well, that depends on which operating system you are using and how much you are willing to pay. There are lots of free options, and you should start with a free one as a beginner. The basics of video editing are pretty much the same across all the software. If you learn any of the free software, you will understand if you need any paid software. If you are using a Mac, a pretty good built-in software named iMovie is available. If you are on Windows or Linux, you can use OpenShot or Shotcut Video Editor. These are also available on Mac, and if you prefer it over iMovie, you can use those. There are also some other free options, but you should not focus more on choosing a free software at the beginning. Pick one and start learning how to edit. Once you are comfortable with any of those, you can easily switch to another one. I will talk about one more free software which is not good for beginners and mainly designed for professional use. Davinci Resolve is a pretty advanced video editor, and it also requires a powerful computer. It can be a useful software for you once you master the editing basics from beginner-friendly software and you are really into video editing. I mentioned Davinci Resolve just to let you know what options are available down the road of video editing. Let's now see some basic concepts of a video editor. I am using iMovie, but these concepts apply to any video editor. These basics will set the foundation of your video editing skills for the future. In every video editor, you will see three regions: browser, viewer, and the timeline. If you have never used any video editor, it may seem complex at first. But trust me, it gets easier and more intuitive once you use it a few times. The browser is the area where you will import your video files to edit. Besides video files, you can also import audio files and images and use those in your editing. Let me import some video files by clicking this import media icon. You can also drag and drop files in that region. I have got these video files from pexels.com, where you can get copyright-free videos and images. After you have imported some videos, this viewer area becomes active. The viewer area shows the frame where your mouse cursor is. If you mouse over the videos in the browser area, the viewer will show the current frame of that video. To edit videos, you have to take clips to the timeline. You can drag clips from the browser to the timeline. You can take multiple clips on the timeline and rearrange them as you need. The timeline is the main place for video editing, and the final video will be how you put things on the timeline. You will be able to split clips in timeline and trim. Splitting and trimming is a necessary process for editing, and all these actions are common among video editors. You can also delete some clips from the timeline. Things are not always arranged side by side in the timeline, they also stack on top of each other. Putting things side by side, you built a track. Here these clips have built a track. You can put multiple tracks on the timeline. For example, if you want to add some audio, it will be put on another track. You can import the audio file, or you can use some built-in sounds available on your editor. If you have some music on Mac, you can use those, or you can use sound effects. I will add a theme music sound effect. Let's choose this modern theme music, and you can drag it to the timeline like the video files. Once you drop the audio, it will form a separate track. Of course, you can rearrange its position in the timeline. Editing an audio file in a timeline is similar to a video file. You can split parts of the audio in the timeline and delete them. Another common thing in video editing is transition. When the video moves from one video to another one, by default a certain jump or change happens. Sometimes you will want a smoother change, and at those times you have to use transition. You will see available transitions in the Transitions tab. Drag those transitions in between the clips, and a smooth transition will happen. Every video editing editor offers some transition, and the use of these transitions is the same. The last concept I will discuss is text overlay. You can add some texts over the video by dragging it. Some video editors allow dropping texts on the viewer. On iMovie, you have to drag text on the timeline and adjust where it will appear. Different video editors offer different types of animations on text overlay. Once you are done with video editing, you have to export. Export means making a single file from all the clips in the timeline. You can then use that single file, for example, to upload to YouTube. There are some options to configure in export, like the resolution of the video or quality of the video. The better the quality, the more time it will take to export. You have to choose a location to save the exported file. Once the export begins, you will see the progress. When the export is complete, you will see the file in the location you set. This is a single file and contains everything you had put in the timeline. Besides these video editors, there are some websites that make things easy for you. For example, this flexclip.com offers both free and paid subscriptions. You can check the free option and see if it has useful features for you. I found their templates useful, specifically if you do not have lots of experience in video editing. They added nice transitions, music, and stock videos. You can also do these things in a video editor, but that will require some experience. Another benefit of FlexClip can be editing time. It takes lots of time to make a good video through editing. You can do that fast in FlexClip, but of course, that will cost you some money. Try it out and check if it is useful to you. In this video, I only discussed basic concepts of video editing. If you want a full tutorial on iMovie, please check the description of this video.